Every morning, before the world wakes up, before the noise creeps in, you have a choice. You have a decision to make. Will you let the day control you, or will you step up and take control of your day? You see, the most powerful conversation you'll have all day isn't with your boss. It's not with your family, your friends, or your team. It's the conversation you have with yourself the moment you wake up. That inner dialogue becomes your destiny. Because here's the truth. If you don't plant powerful thoughts in your mind every morning, negativity will grow there by default. You must decide who you are, declare what you stand for, and deliver the energy that creates your life. And it all starts with just 5 lines you speak to yourself every single morning. 5 lines that can rewire your emotions, reset your focus, and reignite the fire inside of you. 5 lines that silence the doubt, crush the fear, and remind you of the unstoppable force you were born to be. Your words have power, more power than you can imagine. The things you say to yourself, especially in those first few moments when you wake up, are not just harmless thoughts floating through your mind. They are instructions. They are blueprints. And whether you realize it or not, your subconscious mind is always listening, always taking notes, always ready to turn your words into your reality. When you wake up in the morning and immediately think about what's wrong, what hurts, or what didn't go your way yesterday, your mind starts searching for evidence to confirm that story. It's like programming a GPS with the wrong destination and wondering why you never arrive where you want to be. But when you consciously choose your words, when you stand up, take a deep breath, and speak life into your day, something shifts. You give your mind new instructions, you tell your body how to feel, you give your energy a new mission. Most people don't realize they're walking around with stories running on autopilot. Stories of I'm not enough, I always mess things up, nothing ever works out for me. They repeat them like mantras day after day, not understanding that those words are shaping their world. The mind doesn't argue with you. If you say, I can't, it agrees. If you say, it starts looking for ways to make that true. You are the author of your life, but you've got to pick up the pen. You've got to write a new story. And you do that with the words you speak. Think about this. Every time you open your mouth, you're either feeding your fear or feeding your future. You're either reinforcing limitation or expanding possibility. So why not make a conscious decision to speak to the version of yourself you're becoming, not the version you're trying to leave behind? Why not tell yourself the truth about your potential instead of the lie that you're stuck where you are? When you wake up, before you reach for your phone, before you check messages, before you scroll through someone else's life, you need to focus on your own. Plant seeds of power. Speak words that align with your highest self. Look yourself in the mirror if you have to, and declare it out loud. I am strong, I am capable, I am worthy of everything good. Today I create momentum. Today I live with purpose. It doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be consistent. Your brain doesn't care if what you're saying is true or not at first. Its job is to make sure your reality matches your thoughts. If you tell yourself something long enough, you will start to believe it. And when you believe something, you act on it. Your actions create your outcomes reinforce your beliefs. It's a cycle, and it all starts with a few simple words. That's why the 5 lines you speak to yourself every morning are so critical. You are literally wiring your brain for success, for courage, for gratitude. You are creating an emotional state that can carry you through the challenges of the day. Negative feelings will show up. That's life. But you don't have to let them lead. When you speak powerful, positive words to yourself, first thing in the morning, you put yourself in the driver's seat. You decide what you focus on. You decide the energy you bring. And when you take control of that, your world begins to change because you've changed. Your words shape your world. Speak wisely, speak powerfully, speak like your life depends on it. Because it does. Every single day there's a battle going on in your mind. The question is, who's in charge? Is it you, the strongest, most capable version of yourself? Or is it the voice of doubt, fear, and hesitation? Because here's the truth. Your mind is a powerful servant, but it's a terrible master. If you don't take command of it, it will run you. It will run you into the ground. And it's not because your mind is against you. It's because it's designed to protect you, to keep you safe, to keep you comfortable. But comfort doesn't lead to greatness. Safety doesn't lead to purpose. You didn't come this far to let your mind run on autopilot. You didn't wake up today to let fear make your decisions. You're here to lead. You're here to command. Most people think they need to feel good before they take action. They wait to be confident before they make the call, before they step out, before they push themselves. And that's why they are stuck. Because the truth is, you don't wait for confidence to show up. You create it by taking action. You don't negotiate with your mind about what needs to be done. You command it. You decide what needs to happen, and you make it non-negotiable. That's the difference between people who create an extraordinary life and those who are constantly fighting just to get through the day. Leaders don't ask their minds for permission. They give their minds direction. You wake up in the morning, and that voice might be there. I'm tired. I don't feel like it today. Maybe tomorrow. That's the voice of negotiation. That's the mind trying to pull you back into the familiar, back into the known, back into the comfort zone. But what has the comfort zone ever given you except regret and frustration? What has playing small ever done except make you wonder who you could have been if you had just stepped up? You don't negotiate with those thoughts. You don't argue with them. You override them. You replace them with commands that serve your purpose. You tell your mind where you're going and you get moving. It starts with your state. You change your physical state first. You move your body, you breathe deep, you take up space, you change the way you stand, the way you speak, the way you think. You're not waiting around to feel motivated. Motivation is a myth. What's real is momentum. And momentum is built by doing the thing you said you were going to do, whether you feel like it or not. Your mind responds to certainty. It responds to clarity. So you've got to bring it. You've got to decide, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is non-negotiable, there's no other option. Commanding your mind doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you don't obey fear. It doesn't mean doubt never whispers. It means you don't listen. You hear it, but you don't give it the wheel. You're in control. And it starts the moment you wake up. It starts when you open your eyes and your first thought is, I decide how today goes. Not my circumstances, not my emotions, not my past. Me, I lead this mind, I lead this life. You want to overcome negative feelings? Don't wait for them to go away. Don't negotiate with them. Don't reason with them. Act in spite of them. Speak the words that pull you forward. Take the action that builds your strength. Your mind will follow your lead when you show up with certainty. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need approval to take command. You just need to decide. Right now, command your mind, lead your life, and everything else will follow. At the core of every decision you make, every action you take, every habit you form, there's one thing driving it all, your identity. Who you believe you are deep down in your gut becomes the force that shapes your life. It doesn't matter what you want, what you wish for, or even what you dream about. If your identity doesn't align with those outcomes, you will sabotage your progress every single time. Identity is destiny. It's not about what you do, it's about who you are, or more importantly, who you believe you are. You can try to change your habits, but if you don't shift your identity, you'll always snap back to what feels familiar. That's why people who lose weight often gain it back. That's why people who make a little money find a way to lose it. That's why people step into relationships that look different but feel exactly the same, because they didn't change the story of who they are. They didn't upgrade their identity, and identity always wins. You will never outperform the way you see yourself. If you see yourself as someone who's not enough, you will act like you're not enough. If you see yourself as someone who always struggles, you'll find a way to make life hard, even when it's easy. But if you shift your identity to someone who is strong, disciplined, driven, and worthy, you will find a way to live that truth in every area of your life. This is why what you say to yourself matters. When you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror, you're not just brushing your teeth or washing your face. You're reinforcing an identity, and most people do it unconsciously. They look at themselves and think, I'm tired, or I'm not where I should be, or I can't do this. It's not harmless. That's not casual. That's identity in motion. And it's carving out the path of your destiny. But here's the good news. You can take control of it. You can choose a new identity, starting right now, not someday, not when life gets easier, but today. You can stand up and declare, this is who I am now, and then you can back it up with action. Identity isn't something you fake, it's something you become, and you become it by aligning your thoughts, your language, and your actions with who you decide to be. You say the words, I am disciplined, and then you follow through. You say, I am courageous, and then you take the step. You say, I am unstoppable, and you keep going even when it's hard. And the more you do that, the more it becomes real. The repetition wires it in. The consistency makes it true. You can't think your way into a new identity. You have to live your way into it. People talk about destiny like it's something out there, something waiting for them in the future. That's a lie. Your destiny is unfolding right now in this moment. It's shaped by the choices you make, and those choices are driven by who you believe you are. So the question isn't, what do I want? The question is, who am I? Because when you get clear on that, everything else changes. Your standards change, your decisions change, your life changes. You are not your past, you are not your mistakes, you are not the story someone else wrote for you. You are who you decide to be. And when you claim a new identity, when you declare it every morning with certainty, when you speak it and act on it without hesitation, you step into your destiny. And that destiny is powerful, it's unstoppable, and it's waiting for you to lead. What you focus on, you feel. What you focus on, you experience. And where you consistently direct your focus, your energy follows. It's a law of life, whether you like it or not. Most people are exhausted, not because they don't have energy, but because they've been leaking it all day long. They're focused on what they can't control, on what's missing, on what went wrong yesterday or what might go wrong tomorrow. And they wonder why they're tired, why they're stuck, why they feel like they're pushing a boulder uphill. It's because they're sending their energy to all the wrong places. Your focus is like a magnifying glass in the heat of the sun. Hold it steady in one spot and it has power to ignite a fire. Move it around constantly and it's just light that doesn't do anything. Your energy works the same way. You only have so much of it each day. If you scatter it, if you spend your morning focused on stress, anger, frustration, fear, guess what's going to show up? More reasons to feel stressed, more things to be angry about, more opportunities to be afraid. It's not because the world is out to get you. It's because your mind is hardwired to find what you're focused on. It's looking for evidence that confirms your dominant thoughts. So if you focus on your problems, you'll find more problems. If you focus on possibility, you'll find more opportunities. This is why what you do in the morning is everything. It's why the 5 lines you speak to yourself when you wake up are so critical. You're setting the tone, you're giving your brain a command. This is where we're going today, this is what matters. If you focus on gratitude, your energy will expand. If you focus on growth, your strength will multiply. If you focus on what's possible, you will see doors open that weren't even visible before. The world responds to you based on where you put your attention. You want more joy? Focus on what's already good in your life. You want more strength? Focus on the progress you're making, not how far you have to go. Where focus goes, energy flows. And that's where your life starts to move. Some people will say, I just don't have energy. That's a lie. You have energy, but you've been focusing on things that drain you instead of things that drive you. You've been focusing on what's wrong instead of what's right. You've been focused on the past instead of your future. Shift your focus and you'll feel your energy change in an instant. You can't be grateful and fearful at the same time. You can't be angry and joyful in the same breath. Where you put your focus creates the emotions you live in, and those emotions create the quality of your life. This is not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing your reality. It's about deciding that no matter what happens outside of you, you control what happens inside of you. You decide what you give your attention to. You decide what's worthy of your energy. And when you get intentional about your focus, you become unstoppable. The world can throw chaos your way, but you stay centered. People can bring negativity in your space, but you stay elevated because you've trained your mind to focus on what builds you, not what breaks you. So when you wake up in the morning, take control of your focus. Don't leave it to chance. Don't give it away to the first notification, the first headline, the first problem that shows up. Claim it. Direct it. Focus on your vision. Focus on your strength. Focus on the life you're creating, not the one you're trying to escape, because where your focus goes, your energy flows and your life follows. Most people live their lives believing that how they feel is who they are. They wake up feeling anxious and they believe they're an anxious person. They feel sad and they think they're broken. They feel frustrated and they assume life is against them. But emotions are not facts. They are not reality. Emotions are habits. Patterns, conditioned responses that you've run so many times, they become automatic. And just like any habit, they can be changed. They can be rewired. They can be replaced. But the first step is recognizing this truth. You are not your emotions. You are not your feelings. You are the one who experiences them, not the one they define. Think about this for a second. How many times have you felt amazing for no reason? You just wake up and you feel on top of the world, or you hear a song and suddenly your energy shifts. What changed? Did your life suddenly transform in those few seconds? No. Your focus changed. Your body changed. Your state changed. And when your state changes, your emotions follow. Most people wait for their emotions to give them permission to act. They wait to feel confident before they speak up. They wait to feel inspired before they take action. But that's backwards. You don't wait for emotion to lead you, you lead your emotions. Your emotional home is the state you live in most of the time. Some people's emotional home is anger. They've practiced it for years. It's their go-to response to life. For others, it's fear, worry, doubt. They don't even have to think about it, it's just there. But here's the good news. You can build a new home. You can decide to make gratitude your habit. You can wire joy into your nervous system. You can condition courage, certainty, peace, but you've got to practice it. Just like you learn to be anxious, you can learn to be calm. Just like you trained yourself to be frustrated, you can train yourself to be focused. And it starts with awareness. You've got to catch yourself in the moment. When the old emotion shows up, when fear, anger, sadness creep in, you've got to interrupt the pattern. You don't ignore it. You don't pretend it's not there. You acknowledge it, but you don't stay there. You say, this is just a feeling. It's not the truth. And then you shift. You move your body. You breathe differently. You speak differently. Because emotion is created through motion. If you sit slumped over, breathing shallow, focusing on what's wrong, of course you're going to feel lousy. But if you stand tall, breathe deep, speak strength into your life, you will feel different. It's not magic, it's biology. There's no emotion you can't change, no feeling you can't rewrite, but you have to stop waiting for it to happen and start creating it on purpose. If you want to feel powerful, practice it every single day. Condition it the way you condition your muscles in the gym. Repetition is the mother of mastery. You can't just think about being confident once and expect it to last. You can't say you're grateful in the morning and then spend the rest of the day complaining. You have to own it over and over again until it becomes who you are. You have the power to choose your emotions. You have the ability to build an emotional home that empowers you, lifts you, fuels you, and the world changes when you do. Because the quality of your life isn't based on what happens around you. It's based on the emotions you live in every day. And when you understand that emotions are habits, not truths, you take your power back. You stop being a prisoner of your feelings and become the master of them. And that's where real freedom begins. Everything in your life changes the moment you decide, not when you wish, not when you hope, Not when you think about it over and over again, when you make an unshakable decision. Decision is the ultimate power. It's the line in the sand that says, this is who I am now. This is where I'm going. And nothing will pull me off this path. But most people don't make true decisions. They hesitate, they second guess, they say, oh, I'll try or I'll see how it goes. And they wonder why nothing shifts. Trying isn't deciding, hoping isn't deciding. When you decide, you cut off any possibility except the outcome you're committed to. There's no backdoor, no plan B, no exit strategy. It's done. The moment you truly decide, your destiny is reshaped. But decision alone isn't enough. Once you decide, you must declare. Speak it, own it, declare it to yourself first, and then to the world. There is power in declaration. When you declare your vision, your identity, your intention, you create alignment. You shift your energy, your focus, and your actions to match the words coming out of your mouth. And words have weight, they have energy, they create. Most people speak about their life as if they're reporting the news. I'm tired, I'm stuck, I'm not good enough. And their life keeps reflecting that story because that's what they keep declaring. But when you make a decision and declare with certainty, this is who I am now, everything starts to move in that direction. You're not describing reality, you're creating it. And then you deliver. Not once, not twice. You deliver again and again and again. Because decision and declaration are meaningless without action. Consistent, relentless action. You follow through when it's easy and you double down when it's hard. You show up when you feel like it, and especially when you don't. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for perfect conditions. You deliver because you said you would. And that's where identity becomes solid. That's where self-respect is built, not by talking about what you're going to do, but by doing it over and over again until there's no space between who you say you are and what you actually do. The truth is, most people are addicted to indecision. They stay in the cycle of should I or what if because it feels safer than choosing. But not choosing is a choice, and it costs you everything: your energy, your time, your potential. The people who create extraordinary lives are the ones who decide, declare, and deliver every single day. They make bold decisions. They speak their truth with absolute certainty. And they take massive action, especially when it's uncomfortable, especially when fear whispers, you can't. They move anyway, they deliver anyway, and each time they do, they build unstoppable momentum. This is the formula for a powerful life. Decide who you are. Declare it so there's no turning back. Deliver on your promise to yourself. Don't make it complicated. You don't need more information. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a decision. You need to declare it. And you need to deliver with everything you've got, because the truth is, life isn't waiting, time isn't waiting, the version of you that you know you're meant to be isn't waiting. That version is on the other side of your decision, on the other side of your declaration, on the other side of your delivery. And when you commit to this, when you make this your standard, there is no limit to what you can create. There's no ceiling to the life you can build. You step into your power, you lead your life, and you show the world exactly what's possible when you refuse to back down.